world that shrinks each passing day into one big global village is driving more people from its villages to cities. Driven by market forces, cities are becoming epicenters of employment. And India, a country that has more than 1 billion people, has about 250 million who now live in cities. Experts predict that this number will increase, and 50% of the country's young population will migrate to urban centers by 2020 to carve out a living. Among those who graduate, with the conferring of a graduation degree comes a culmination of their education. For the vast majority, slipping out of their graduation gowns into career clothes the same week is fast becoming a reality, especially in today's market in India. And then for others with spending power, their college degree or diploma serves as a passport to pursue higher studies abroad. So, is this all that the education system is supposed to do? When and how are we fully educated? Is today's education system fulfilling its role, its obligations? Many will argue it is. That if one considers that the goal of education is only to help eke out a living. The biggest strength and security of any country lies in educating its youth, and even more so by molding their character, propounds a school of thought, wherein lies the answers to many of the social ills that plague today's world. Nestled in the district of Anantapur in Andhra Pradesh is the Sri Sathya Sai University. This university is perhaps one of the few institutions in the world where the system of learning imparts life's biggest and most value-based lessons while preparing to meet and even surpass the challenges of today's market demands and work environment.
Driven by market forces, education in India is becoming privatized and very expensive, obscenely expensive, I would say. Now there are forecasts that in a few decades from now, we would be having 500 million young people in India. That's an very large number, much more than the population of United States today, 500 million. And one expert has said 500 young people is a great asset if they can all be educated and they are employable. But if they are not educated, we have a huge time bomb on our hands. That is something we must realize. And how do we deal with this problem? That is what Baba has demonstrated through his university. First of all, education in his university is free all the way. And even more important is the stress on education.
Here, emphasis is on value-based education and character building of its students, as much as, if not more than, academic excellence. Steadfast in its belief and practice, this educational system fostered at the Sri Sathya Sai University is well on its way to awaken those in spiritual slumber with a gentle nudge, so that they understand the goal of education is certainly not limited to what is taught through textbooks in the classrooms. Often described as an embodiment of the purest form of love, Sri Sathya Sai Baba has made it his mission for man to recognize his own divinity and rekindle love, the basis for the 5 timeless human values that lie latent in every human, regardless of race or religion. Millions of people around the world are drawn to him and his universal messages. His messages encapsulate profound philosophies that are easy to understand, more importantly, imbibe. Bhagavan Baba, or Swami as he is addressed around the world, has transformed the lives of needy millions by undertaking massive humanitarian service projects. Born on November 23, 1926, in a remote village called Puttaparthi in Andhra Pradesh in South India, Bhagavan Baba gives a great deal of importance to education. But more than that, he lays considerable significance to the manner in which it ought to be delivered. As the Chancellor of this university, Sri Sathya Sai Baba often says, education is not for mere living, it is for life, a fuller, more meaningful, a more worthwhile life. What the world needs today is Educare. The unique approach to integrate modern education with human values through Educare makes his contribution the most outstanding to the world of knowledge and learning. So what is Educare?
Educare aims at the transformation of man. The word educare, if you look at the dictionary, you will find that the word educe expresses the meaning of educare most appropriately. To elicit, to draw out from what is rudimentary or potential existence. The potential has to be allowed to blossom forth fully. The assumption is that each and every human being has the divine spark in him, and this divine potentiality has to be tapped and brought out into the open. This is the main principle of Educare. The distinction between education and Educare, as the Chancellor of the university always puts it across, is education is for living and Educare is for life.
Down the ages, we are trained in education. Education is an elevation to human life. Education imparts information to students. Education will make you knowledgeable and enjoy status, dignity, respectability in the community. This education will be coming forward with promising jobs to have a kind of standard of life, higher standard of life, that would be befitting to the modern civilization. That's all education we know. We have been through that. Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has come forward with the new concept of Educare. Educare is not imparting knowledge from outside. Educare is not simply collection of facts and statistics from books, is not merely curriculum, syllabus centered and examination oriented. No. Educare is for wisdom. While education gives you knowledge, Educare confers wisdom. Education is obtained from outside agencies, while Educare is out of the awakening of the intellect from within. Education is academic, bound by time limit, while Educare is a process of learning from womb to the tomb, from birth to death. Education will improve the standard of your living, while Educare will improve the standard of life in general. Education is for civilization. Educare is for culture. Education is one thing given to you. Educare is the one you are born with. The education will make you an intellectual, whereas Educare will make you more intelligent. Intelligence and intellect are different. Heart-centered is Educare, head-oriented is education.
Sri Sathya Sai University grew out of the colleges started by Bhagwan Baba in the town of Anantapur in the state of Andhra Pradesh 40 years ago. Development of a sterling character being the primary objective, 2 more colleges were started in Brindavan near Bangalore, Karnataka, and in Prashanti Nilayam in Puttaparthi. As the years rolled by, these colleges attained the status of a university with A++ rating in the country that offer unique experiences in an environment that fills the head with ideals, nurtures the heart, and trains the hands to help the needy in the society. Apart from the fact that education is imparted free of cost from kindergarten all the way through to the postgraduate and the professional program level, students also receive free health care. The state-of-the-art techniques used for teaching and research, using English as the medium of instruction, character and qualifications of teachers, development of scientific research at the doctoral level that is relevant to local and national needs, make this university a crest jewel among educational institutions in the country and abroad. The installation of a modern space theatre speaks volumes of the importance Bhagavan Baba gives to academic excellence. But he also implores the students to convert knowledge into a tool useful to society. Miraculous transformation of the heart happens while being in this university environment, where the students learn their first lesson in love as well as service, when put simply, is love in action. A significant contributor to the transformation of their hearts comes from Grama Seva, initiated in 2000 by Bhagavan Baba. While one aspect of learning outside the classroom sensitizes these students to human suffering, the hands-on training in delivering compassionate and loving service toward the poor and the needy in the society sows the seeds of love and compassion in their hearts and imparts a valuable lesson on sealing on desires and social responsibility, while at the same time rekindling the awareness of oneness of man. Through Grama Seva, these students understand that love and service are the two sides of the same page that deal with the lesson in spirituality, and adhering to values is not something that is meant to be appended to one's life whenever convenient, but meant to be integrated into their lives. The students undergo a paradigm shift in their attitude and their thought process, approaching life with a broader understanding, deeper insight, and a mature outlook, with the realization that this is the only way, the right way, to live a fulfilling life.
Service in the village. Now, this has been practiced in a very massive way in the Sri Sathya Sai University from the year 2000. We have been doing this for 7 years in a row. What is the purpose of Grama Seva? The question arises because many people say, okay, a few days in the year you go out to the villages in large numbers, no doubt, and you distribute food, clothes, etc., etc. That is not going to solve the problem of the villages. What's the big deal? It's a fair question. But I'll tell you what the big deal is, because I have been involved in this in many ways, and I have been watching this very closely. In fact, in some of my field trips, I have recorded interviews with students, teachers, administrators, and so on. The big deal is simply this. As far as our students are concerned, I won't talk about the villages, there is another dimension. As far as the students are concerned, it's a question of sensitizing them. Many of these people come from urban background. They have absolutely no idea what conditions in villages are. And when they go to a village and see for the first time a place where there is no shop, no electricity, no telephone, no doctor, not even an ayah to assist with delivery of babies, no roads, hardly any school, then they realize that there is a world out there which goes back almost to the Stone Age, and that's just 30 kilometers from here. And you realize how